Hawks and highways go hand in hand. Can't help to notice the spirit of this land.
On the list is hitting the road this week. We're on our way to West Wendover, Nevada, on the Nevada-Utah border, just a few miles west of the Bonneville Salt Flats. From there, we'll be traveling another 20 miles south and hiking into the Goshute Mountains to the Goshute Peak Hawkwatch, a camp 9,600 feet high where Hawkwatch International has been monitoring the migration patterns and health of raptors for over 35 years. We're going to see quite a few birds of prey on this trip, from as small as a pigeon to ones with wingspans stretching over 4.5 feet. We'll even see a couple of little cute guys along the way. Joining us on this adventure is a true Renaissance man and good friend of mine, Willy Vlautin. Willy is a musician, songwriter, and novelist with over a dozen studio albums to his name with both Richard Fontaine and his newest group, the Delines. He is the author of 5 novels, including The Motel Life, adapted into a critically acclaimed film starring Emile Hirsch, Dakota Fanning, Chris Christopherson, and Stephen Dorff. When asked if he wanted to join a hike through the rough American West to see some of the most gorgeous birds on earth, Willy could not resist. After a night of rough sleep, thanks to our wonderful hotel neighbors, we met in the lot just before sunup to get an early jump on our day's adventure.
How you doing?
Good. Hey, so you brought binoculars, right?
Yeah, I got binoculars. I got the water. I'm ready to go.
All right. Do you have the directions?
I do, actually.
Oh,
yeah,
right,
man.
good.
I'll be your tour guide
Because I
today.
left mine up there. I wrote it down and then left it.
Cool. Well, hell, man, I'm in.
Well, cool, man. This is going to be fun.
I'm excited,
Did
man.
you sleep well?
Nah, not really, man. I was reading this book.
Did you hear that cat getting mauled?
Yeah. I wonder if it got eaten by a coyote. No, I was reading this crazy 50s crime book last night. I like my noir.
Yeah.
So I was reading that till 4.
I've been reading Big Sleep.
Yeah, man. It's the same guy. This guy's Charles Williams. He's more crazy.
Well, thanks for driving, man.
I'm the only guy with a license in this crew.
With our packs ready and loaded, Willy and I made our way south on Highway 93. This gorgeous drive got us chatting a bit more about our favorite birds, books, and awakenings.
You know that book, H is for Hawk?
That's a goshawk. That's a sipiter. It's a bird hawk. And she's a falconer, that lady.
Yeah.
Thanks, by the way. I enjoyed that book a lot.
I thought you might like it. I heard an interview with her and I said, man, that's got to be Freddy's dream girl.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, if Lita Ford and her got together and had combined to be one person.
Well, you know, when I was a kid, you know that movie Lady Hawk?
Yeah, with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, where she turns into a hawk in the day and then turns into Michelle Pfeiffer at night. Like, that was like...
That's your dream girl?
When I was, a teenager.
Yeah.
The road to the trail from the highway is a little bumpy, but after 20 minutes of getting tossed around, we finally made it into the Goshute Mountains trailhead. The true beginning of what was to be a hike my legs won't soon forget. Damn, man, that's where we're going. Yeah, here's that bird we saw on the way. Cooper's hawk.
You're right. You can hardly tell between the sharp-shinned and the Coopers. And we might see wild horse.
They might catch one of these up there, though. Yeah, if you're lucky.
Yeah, I want to see some horses.
Even before the hike, the views out here were gorgeous, especially in the early morning sun. Every journey begins with a single step, and we had quite a few to make to get us up this mountain. We had to take a few breaks along the way, giving us a chance to catch eyes on another bird or two on our way up, as well as talk a little more about Willy's road to becoming a world-class musician.
So I remember how you saying when you first got lessons, how some of the teachers wanted to teach metal.
Well, I only took one lesson, and I wanted to learn the Rank and File song. 'Cause you played with Alejandro Escovedo.
Yeah.
Well, he did a solo that was like, it was just a country solo, but I loved it. And so I went to this guitar shop and I said, hey man, I wanna learn how to play this Rank and File tune. My mom was waiting in the car, so I was 13 or something. And the guy was a metal guy. I mean, the arena was completely metal. And he goes, you could play that lick, or you could play, and for 45 minutes I watched him, and I got so depressed that I never took another lesson. and I should have taken a bunch more lessons.
It's funny because it makes me think of that. Did you see that Runaways movie?
Yeah, years ago.
When John Jett was getting lessons, the guy's trying to teach her green sleeves.
Yeah.
She's like, I want to learn like Suzy Quattro.
Yeah. No, I hated.
You were the opposite.
Well, I hated metal. I was in
Willie Nelson licks.
Yeah, I mean, I said no. I was playing with these guys when I was a kid, and it was no solos.
Yeah.
No guitar solos. And then as you get older, you start realizing how great metal is. Like Metallica, Slayer.
That's pretty virtuosic.
Yeah, they're great, and they put on great shows. And they can play.
Yeah.
The singers can actually sing. But when I was a kid, I hated it.
The 2.5 mile hike was a bit longer than we anticipated, but after a couple of hours, a gallon of water, and nearly that much in sweat, Willie, the crew, and I finally made it to the top, and just in time if you ask me.
Looks like we're almost there, Will.
All right. Neither of us has had a heart attack.
Coming up, Willie and I finally pull into camp, meet up with Neil from Hawkwatch International, get a quick tour of their site, and get an up-close look at some of nature's most majestic creatures, all when On the List continues. We're here in the Goshute Mountains of eastern Nevada with musician and novelist Willy Vlautin. We're on a hike to the campsite for Hawkwatch International, a conservation group monitoring the migration and health of raptors across North America. We finally made it to camp, ready to see some birds of prey in action and up close.
Good job, Freddy.
Good job, Willie.
Yeah, that was fun, man.
You're a real inspiration.
I want to see a peregrine falcon, man. That's my dream.
You want to sign in?
Yeah, sure.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, hi, this is Freddy. Trujillo was expecting to come up with a couple cameras. Hey, Will.
See, we're not so old, man.
This just inspired me to work out more.
We were met by Neil Paprocki, conservation biologist for Hawkwatch International. Neil started off the tour with a look at some of the recorded numbers of raptors seen up here since the beginning of their season just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, yesterday we saw 586 raptors. Yesterday was really good. It was really windy. I think we've counted 5,200 for the season so far.
We've seen 16 peregrines. He wants to see a peregrine.
Yeah, I want to see a peregrine and a kestrel.
Cool. Well, we've seen some kestrels already. We had just maybe, 20 minutes ago, we had a prairie falcon flying over top. I saw a peregrine early this morning.
Neil gave us a look into more of the daily life up here at Goshute Peak, including how most of the supplies stay up there packed away tight. But the perishables are both packed up on foot and airlifted up one day a year at the beginning of every season. Seeing how far we really were from any road, I can understand why they need a helicopter. From the very peak, the view really was something else. Neil and his crew are so incredibly adept at finding the raptors from up here, often just small specks in the horizon. The crew on the other side of the peak managed to catch a few birds for quick studies of health and known migratory patterns. While they tended to the birds, Neil gave us a bit more info on the Goshute Mountains Hawkwatch and what they do to help preserve these birds and their habitats.
Yeah, so this is the Goshute Mountains Hawkwatch. And we've been monitoring raptors here since 1983. So we've been here for like over 35 years. So this is a BLM wilderness area, and they very kindly allow us to kind of do this, but we're here every fall for 3 months basically. The primary thing that we're doing is counting migrating raptors. And the reason we're counting them is raptors concentrate along ridge lines during migration, so you can count a lot of them. Like we average about 15 to 16,000 raptors here per fall. Wow. We've counted as many as 25,000 here. And we're counting them as they migrate to kind of assess how their populations are doing. So you can imagine like 35 years of data. We have 35 years of like how many red-tailed hawks we've counted. And so we can really say a lot about, well, are they increasing or decreasing? And so we can tell a lot about the health of different species based on if our counts are going up or down. And this is only one of 8 migration sites that we run every fall. So a lot of the work that we've done has gone into like additional research that people do. So like our counts have shown like declines in American kestrels and declines in golden eagles. And because of that, there's a lot of people doing research on those species to try and figure out like why they're declining and what we can do about it.
Right.
Well, you guys are my heroes because I love raptors.
Yeah. And then we trap a lot too, and trapping's a little different. Like each bird we trap, we take a bunch of measurements. Like we can assess the actual health of like a bird based
Right.
on like maybe how much muscle they have or how much fat they have stored up and how the bird looks. And we're also taking feather samples from certain birds for a couple different studies. Like there's some folks in Maine that are doing like a mercury contaminant study. So like we're pulling feathers so that they can test for mercury to see if the birds are being exposed.
The first bird they gave a checkup to while we were there was a merlin, a small falcon that looks like a miniature peregrine. These guys tend to feed on other birds, sometimes ones as large as themselves, though the even bigger raptors, like the ones we'll see later, chase after them too. You see the Hawkwatch crew here, taking photo records of the size and condition of the bird's wings, important for safe and healthy journeys. Neil also gives us a look on how they manage to keep track of specific birds along their migrations through the area every year.
I banded this bird. We put, every bird we catch, we put a metal band on it. And the band number, it's a 9-digit number, and it's unique to this individual bird. It's like a social security number for the bird. And so if anyone catches this bird again, we send the information from this band into a federal database. And so if anyone catches it again, they'll know exactly like where and when this bird was caught. So
Cool.
traditionally, scientists got a lot of information about like how birds move based on band recoveries. Like maybe someone would recover this bird in Mexico or something, and then we know like, oh, it migrated to Mexico kind of a thing. So there's a couple different ways we hold birds. Like right now, I'm holding the bird with like my index finger between the legs, and I'm like way up on the bird's thighs. Because if you hold the bird down by the feet and then it like flaps and freaks out, you could like break a leg or something. So this is a nice hold because the bird can be pretty relaxed and like flap its wings if it wants to. There's another hold that's a lot easier, like for maybe folks like you that haven't held a lot of birds. You just hold the popsicle grip.
Yeah.
Where you like use these two fingers to go around the legs, and you just hold the wings and the tail just like this. And these falcons have like a tooth in their beak. I don't know if you can see that kind of right there.
Yeah.
There's like a tooth. And so that's their main like killing mechanism. They'll like bite down on a bird or something, and that tooth can like crack bone and kind of all that good stuff. Either of you want to like hold the bird or release it, or and you can bring your thumb like over, just like that, and you can hold them like pretty firm. And if the bird, if you think the bird's gonna get out, you just let it go.
I'll let you go.
Hey, hold on, let me get one picture of you, Fred.
I'm just so stoked to hold you. Oh my God, this is such an honor. Just throw them up.
Just throw them any direction you want.
That was the coolest thing I've ever.
That was insane. Here's another one.
When we come back, we'll have a look at a couple more raptors, each one bigger than the last. We'll say goodbye to our new friends and head back to town for one last chat with Willy. All when On the List continues. Willy Vlautin and I are here in Nevada at the Goshute Mountains, visiting Hawkwatch International, a conservation group helping protect the beautiful raptors that rely on these byways for their survival. Neil Paprati is showing us a few of the birds as they assess their health. Here we have a female Cooper's hawk. She has a migratory path that leads from Canada to Mexico, so she's only about halfway through her migration this year.
This is a young Cooper's hawk.
Wow.
It's got really brown feathers with these like
He hasn't got his
buffy tips.
some of the other color they get, huh?
And then on the front side, he's got kind of brown vertical streaking on the front. The adult accipiters are like kind of reddish on the front and then like bluish gray on the
Yeah, they
back.
got that blue color.
This looks like a female.
Yeah.
Cooper's hawks they're really sexually dimorphic. So the females, in all raptors, the females are bigger than the males. But they got kind of these banded flight feathers, which
Wow.
He's already kind of busted a tip on that feather, probably from some hunting accident or something. They have really long tails that helps them, like, they do a lot of hunting in like the forest and stuff.
Right.
This long tail acts as like a big rudder, so they can make really tight turns in the trees and stuff, and then use their long legs to reach out and grab birds. You can do popsicle grip on this bird too. You want to do the honors again?
I don't know.
Do it, Fred.
I got it. I'll regret
We got that red tail coming, so you're gonna have to hold that one if you want.
it.
Same thing. Come over my hand. Yep. And like I said, you can hold them pretty tight.
All right. Oh my god. He is the coolest thing. You want to go? Ready? Go.
Being able to release these beauties back into the air was a real joy. But this next bird was a little too much for me. This is a red-tailed hawk. The red-tail's fierce screaming cry is frequently used in television or movies whenever a large raptor like a bald eagle is shown, though the call is distinctively that of a red-tailed hawk. Carnivorous, opportunistic eaters, their prey consists of nearly any small animal they encounter.
This is an adult, like, nice red tail. The young red tails have like a brown banded tail. He's got some dried blood on his beak, probably from the last thing he ate.
Oh yeah.
They like replace most of their feathers every year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And this bird's, you can see these shorter feathers right here.
Oh yeah.
And right here. They're like growing those in right now. And you can see this bird he has multiple generations of adult feathers, so like we'll use how their feathers look to age the bird. He's got kind of a little fuzzy on his head here. Let's clean that up good. These guys have pretty monster feet.
He's got a little blood on his feet too. Dried blood.
Yeah. This guy like footed you know, it hurt a lot.
Yeah.
He'd mess you up.
Has that ever happened to you?
I've been footed before. Yeah.
That's a male?
We don't know. Red tails are hard to sex. Like the sexes are pretty close in size. There's a lot of overlap.
Yeah.
You want to try holding them? You don't have to. It's totally up to you.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Cool. Anyone else want to hold them? Any of the camera operators want to?
Yeah,
This guy's
I will.
like, no way, man. Yeah? You want to let him go? Do it, man. You're probably not going to have it.
Not wanting to waste the opportunity, our cameraman Matt decided to get in on the action. Red-tails have varying migratory patterns, some not migrating at all, while some take great journeys from Alaska to Mexico. It's hard to say where this one will be heading, but Hawkwatch may see them again one day and check up on them just to make sure they're doing alright. Soon it was time to say goodbye to our new friends at Hawkwatch. Our biggest thanks go out to Neil Paprocki and the rest of the Hawkwatch crew, as well as Hawkwatch International for doing what they do to help these amazing birds thrive in a world that seems to change a little too fast sometimes. The hike back down was a breeze compared to the way up. We hopped back in the car and made our way back to Wendover, Utah to grab a well-deserved meal and spend a little more time with Willy. We wound up at Salt Flats Cafe, the highest rated lunch spot in town. What they may lack in ambiance, they more than make up for with their delicious Mexican food.
Well, Will, dude, you did it. Thanks so much. I felt like I was gonna die for a second there, literally. But
I didn't think you were gonna die, but I wouldn't have been surprised if you would have killed him.
or I was gonna quit. Maybe I should say. Like,
Yeah.
I seriously.
It wasn't that bad. And I mean, that guy Neil was about as
Yeah,
cool
I
as
was.
a guy could be.
It was very inspirational getting up there and all worth it.
Yeah.
Hopefully the show will still kind of
Like I
show
was,
some relevance to help preserve some of these places and some of these birds.
I was just saying, all I wanted to do as a kid is be in a bar and play in a crappy band, and I never even looked out the window. You know, for 30 years. It's kind of nice to see how other people live.
I'm glad we got some.
Yeah, me too. And then hopefully we won't lose all our money tonight in Wendover.
I don't know if I can make it to it, but if I get up to my room, I'm probably never gonna come back.
We gotta stop by Lee's Liquors.
Yeah.
And then lose a bunch of money, and then it'll be a weekend.
Until our next adventure.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.
I have known Willy for close to 20 years. Half of those I've been lucky enough to play with him in Richmond Fontaine and the DeLuns. When I was planning this episode, the only Hawkwatch that I could find was in Nevada. Willy was my first choice, born and raised in Reno, with Nevada often the setting in his novels. I had no idea how hard this hike would be, and Willy was a real friend that joined me. In our conversation at Salt Flats Cafe, he said when he was a kid he just wanted to be in a bar playing in a band, and he said he never looked out a window. That is exactly what I wanted to happen on the show. Willy was genuinely blown away by the experience. It is easy to take nature for granted and not look out a window. On this show, I hope to continue to bring attention to nature's beauty and the hard work of the people protecting it.
Hawks and highways go hand in hand. Can't help to notice the spirit of this land.